If there's one thing I'm fully invested in this year, it's these confirmed K-drama couples. A few teaser clips in and I'm already sold. Get ready to meet your next favorite obsession. These are the confirmed K-drama pairings everyone's waiting for in 2026. Let's go! 18. Jisoo and Seo In-guk. Okay, hear me out. What if your next boyfriend came with a monthly subscription? That's the dangerously addictive premise of Boyfriend on Demand, starring Jisoo and Seo In-guk, and this pairing already feels unfairly powerful. Jisoo plays Seo Mi-rae, a webtoon producer whose love life is non-existent, until she gains access to a virtual dating program that lets her subscribe to the perfect boyfriend. Zero risk, maximum romance. Except her digital ideal looks exactly like her real-life coworker, Park Kyung-nam, the cold, competitive colleague she constantly clashes with at work. They don't get along, the tension is built in, and of course, he's hiding something big. Jisoo's soft but steady rom-com charm meets Seo In-guk's layered, emotionally guarded intensity. He does brooding with depth. She makes slow-burn tension irresistible. Enemies to lovers with secret identity chaos? That's chemistry ready to spark. Directed by Kim Jung-sik, the mind behind Work Later, Drink Now, and Strong Girl Nam-soon, expect sharp banter, quick pacing, and just enough heart to pull you in. Premiering on Netflix this March 6th, this one's worth the wait. 17. Park Min-young and Ha-joon. Ready for something a little dangerous and spicy? Siren's Kiss is pairing Park Min-young and Ha-joon, and the tension is already doing the most. Their chemistry from the teaser and poster alone, she's holding him close like she knows exactly what she's doing, and he looks completely pulled in. It's giving seduction, secrets, and this is going to end badly, but I don't care. Park Min-young plays a dangerously elegant art auctioneer with a suspicious past, while Ha-joon steps in as the sharp insurance investigator who starts circling her case. And slowly, her heart. From what they've teased, their relationship is built on suspicion, attraction, and psychological push and pull. It's not soft romance. It's tension you can feel through the screen. Their dynamic promises seductive tension, psychological intrigue, and that irresistible pull between a woman with secrets and a man who can't look away. Siren's Kiss premieres on March 2nd and will stream internationally on Amazon Prime Video. 16. Kim Min-joo and Park Jin-young. Some first loves fade, theirs clearly didn't. Shining pairs Park Jin-young with Kim Min-joo, and the teaser alone feels like a soft punch to the heart. They reunite after years apart, and you can see it in their eyes. Unfinished business, unspoken words, and emotions that never really left. Park Jin-young plays a man who has never truly moved on from his first love, while Kim Min-joo steps in as the woman who once meant everything to him, now standing in front of him again, but under completely different circumstances. Their reunion isn't dramatic or explosive. It's quiet, bittersweet, the kind of tension built on history rather than flirting. Jin-young excels at internalized longing, that subtle, restrained emotion that slowly cracks. And Kim Min-joo brings a gentle yet grounded presence that makes emotional scenes feel intimate instead of over the top. Shining premieres in March on JTBC and will stream internationally on Netflix. 15. Kim Go-eun and Kim Jae-won. We're officially heading back into the Seol village, and honestly, it already feels personal. Yumi's Cells 3 is bringing back Kim Go-eun as Yumi, with rising actor Kim Jae-won stepping in as her newest leading man. And let's be very clear, if anyone can guarantee believable, heart-fluttering chemistry, it's Kim Go-eun. She carried two completely different love stories across 2 seasons without ever losing that emotional authenticity. At this point, we trust her instincts. In Season 3, Yumi has finally achieved her dream of becoming a writer. Growth, stability, maturity. But of course, love shows up when she least expects it, and this unexpected romance completely shakes her world. The rush of new emotions wakes up her once quiet Seol village, and yes, our favorite brain cells are back. Love, rational, emotional, writer, and hunger. Louder and more involved than ever. Kim Go-eun returns with a more vibrant, confident Yumi, promising fresh humor and charm. And with Kim Jae-won bringing a fresh, youthful energy to this new chapter, the dynamic already feels different. Softer, more mature, potentially endgame? We're about to find out. Yumi Cells 3 premieres in April and will stream internationally on TVing, with global streaming availability depending on region. 14. An Hyo-seop and Chae Won-bin. Sold out on Yu pairs. An Hyo-seop as Matthew Lee, also known as Quail Lee, a farmer juggling multiple jobs, with Chae Won-bin as Dam Ye-jin, a famous show host suffering from severe insomnia. And yes, their lives collide in the most chaotic way possible. This is described as a dreamy rom-com packed with constant bickering between Matthew and Ye-jin, and you can already picture it. He's trying to maintain his quiet, hard-working countryside life, while she's restless, sleepless, and unintentionally shaking up his routine day and night. The dynamic, grumpy farmer meets glamorous insomniac, and neither of them is ready for the emotional turbulence. With a premise like this, rom-com fans are already locked in. Sold Out on You is scheduled to premiere in 2026 and will stream internationally on Netflix. 13. IU and Byeon Woo-seok. One of the biggest rom-com events of the year? Oh, it's this one. Perfect Crown is officially giving us IU and Byeon Woo-seok as a chaebol heiress and a prince. And I'm sorry, that casting alone feels like a global announcement. IU plays a powerful heiress who enters a high-profile marriage with Prince Ye-jin, played by Byeon Woo-seok. In front of the paparazzi, they're all soft smiles, affectionate touches, and picture-perfect royal couple energy. But once the cameras are gone, the real questions start. Is this marriage political, practical, or slowly becoming something real? IU brings that emotionally intelligent, nuanced romance energy where every glance matters. And Byeon Woo-seok thrives in roles that balance softness with quiet intensity. Watching him play a prince torn between duty and devotion already sounds like peak slow burn material. Perfect Crown premieres on April 3rd, airing on MBC in its Friday-Saturday time slot, and will be available to stream internationally on Disney+. 12. Park Eun-bin and Young Se-jong. Okay, fantasy rom-com lovers. This one feels like magic waiting to happen. Spellbound is bringing together Park Eun-bin and Young Se-jong in a supernatural romantic comedy remake. And honestly, that pairing alone already feels charming. Inspired by the hit film of the same name, the drama follows a woman who has lived her life isolated because of her mysterious ability to see ghosts, and the ordinary man who unexpectedly steps into her strange, supernatural world. It's quirky, slightly eerie, but ultimately heartwarming. The kind of story where romance grows in the middle of chaos. And chemistry-wise, well, we've got Park Eun-bin, who has never once let us down when it comes to building heart-fluttering chemistry with her male leads and making unconventional characters feel so lovable. Young Se-jong, on the other hand, excels at soft, grounded male leads who feel steady and sincere. Put her unpredictable, otherworldly energy next to his calm presence. That contrast alone is rom-com gold. Spellbound is scheduled to premiere in 2026 with streaming details to follow. 11. Park Ji-hyun and Seo In-guk. Office romance, but make it grumpy meets burned out and slightly unhinged? Yes, please. Back to work. Pairs Seo In-guk and Park Ji-hyun in a webtoon-based story that already feels painfully relatable. Seo In-guk plays Kang Si-woo, Ji-hyun's direct supervisor, a man with striking visuals, a disciplined lifestyle, and absolutely zero warmth. He's handsome, fit, and put together. Except for the fact that his blunt, icy personality has earned him the nickname the company's worst grump. Of course, that's exactly the type of man who ends up getting emotionally entangled. Park Ji-hyun's Cha Ji-yoon is competent, skilled, and trusted at work, but she's exhausted by deadlines, by expectations, by life. She's good at her job, but both her career and love life feel stuck. And just when she's trying to keep things steady, her cold boss barges further into her world in ways neither of them planned. The dynamic, forced proximity, reluctant partnership, and that delicious arc where the worst slowly becomes the best. Back to Work is scheduled to premiere in 2026 and will stream internationally on Netflix. 10. Seol In-ah and Yim Si-wan. My Guilty Human officially pairs Yim Si-wan and Seol In-ah in a webtoon-based romance thriller, and the genre mix alone already feels intriguing. Based on the hit web novel and webtoon Why Don't You Know, She's a Woman, the drama follows an arrogant third-generation chaebol heir who suddenly becomes the prime suspect in a murder case, and the former Special Forces officer who goes undercover as his personal secretary to investigate him. Yim Si-wan plays Yoon Ye-jun, the picture-perfect heir to Taegong Group, Rich, brilliant, polished, but also obsessively perfectionist and notoriously difficult, the kind of boss who makes employees quit. When a murder occurs at his company and he's named the prime suspect, he isolates himself from everyone until he hires a new personal secretary. That secretary? Seol In-na's character, a former special forces officer going undercover to investigate him. But working side by side with a man who may or may not be guilty complicates everything. It'll be charged with, "I don't trust you, but I can't ignore you." That chemistry is going to feel charged rather than sweet. And trust me, it's going to be good. The drama is scheduled to premiere in 2026, with international streaming details to be announced. 9. Ha-young and Jung Hae-in. Our sticky love brings together Ha-young and Jung Hae-in in a romance that starts with a total blank slate. She wakes up with no memories. None. And the first thing she's told, that the man standing in front of her, played by Jung Hae-in, is her boyfriend. As she tries to piece her life back together, he stays by her side, insisting their love was real. But without memories, how do you trust your own heart? Is this fate giving them a second chance, or is there something she's not being told? It's soft, it's suspicious, and it's built for slow emotional unraveling. And casting-wise, Jung Hae-in is known for playing gentle, devoted male leads, which makes this setup even more compelling because you want to believe him. Meanwhile, Ha-young brings a natural, grounded presence that makes vulnerability feel authentic rather than dramatic. Our Sticky Love is slated to premiere in 2026 and will stream exclusively on Netflix worldwide. 8. Lim Ji-yeon and Heo Nam-jun. Time travel, villain era, corporate warfare, and somehow it's a rom-com. This might be one of the most unique setups of the year. Wicked World pairs Lim Ji-yeon with Heo Nam-jun in a premise that's chaotic in the best way. Lim Ji-yeon plays a notorious Joseon villainess who suddenly wakes up in 2026. New world, new rules, zero patience. Instead of palace politics, she's navigating modern society and corporate power, which is exactly how she ends up clashing with a ruthless chaebol CEO played by Heo Nam-jun. He controls boardrooms, she survived court conspiracies. So when they meet, it's less meet cute and more power duel. The twist? It's a rom-com, meaning culture shock, sharp banter, and enemies to something more energy layered over all that intensity. And honestly, two actors who can absolutely nail morally gray roles stepping into a romantic comedy together, that alone makes this pairing exciting. Villain-coded leads falling in love? We're seated. Wicked World is scheduled to premiere in 2026 and will stream internationally on TVing, with global streaming details to be confirmed. 7. Park Eun-bin and Cha Eun-woo. The Wonderfuls teams up Park Eun-bin and Cha Eun-woo in a 1999 set action comedy where regular townies suddenly develop superpowers during peak end of the millennium something's coming anxiety. Park Eun-bin plays Yoon Chae-ni, a totally unpolished, thrown-into-it accidental hero learning her powers on the fly, while Cha Eun-woo's Lee Woon-jung is a rule-driven, socially awkward civic servant investigating a mysterious disappearance tied to the chaos. So, what do we get? Her impulsive, messy energy crashing into his cautious, principled vibe. It's less epic melodrama and more bickering teammates who slowly build trust while trying not to destroy the city. Add in mystery, absurd action, and that nostalgic 1999 doomsday backdrop, and the chemistry feels set up for witty friction first, soft moments later. And with director Yoo In-sik reuniting with Park Eun-bin after extraordinary attorney Woo, you already know there'll be heart underneath the chaos. The Wonderfuls premieres in 2026 and will stream globally on Netflix. 6. Chae Soo-bin and Kim Young-kwang. Take Charge of My Heart pairs. Chae Soo-bin with Kim Young-kwang in a premise that's already screaming high-concept rom-com with emotional stakes. Kim Young-kwang plays a man living with an artificial heart, controlled by technology, while Chae Soo-bin's character quite literally holds the key connected to it. Yes, the key to his heart, not metaphorically. Technically, their story unfolds through a contract-style relationship that slowly blurs into something real. He's guarded, hyper-aware of his condition, and not exactly emotionally open. She's practical but warm, suddenly placed in a position of responsibility over his literal survival. That dynamic? Instant tension. And chemistry-wise, this pairing feels strong. Chae Soo-bin excels at grounded, emotionally sincere performances that make even unusual setups feel believable, while Kim Young-kwang has that tall, cool exterior that softens beautifully in romance arcs. Take Charge of My Heart is scheduled to premiere in 2026 and will stream internationally on Netflix. 5. Hye and Hwang In-yup. This next one, it's giving painfully tender, slow-burn second-chance love. And it's everything. Hye and Hwang In-yup are teaming up for To You, an upcoming rom-com from the writer of Goblin and Doom at your service. And you already know what that means. Emotionally devastating romance that you'll never recover from. Hwang In-yup plays Woo Soo-bin, a brilliant but emotionally closed-off film director who returns home after making it big. But success isn't the only thing waiting for him. His old flame is too. That's Hye as Ju Yi-jae, a once passionate reporter who's burned out and stuck, until they're reunited to finish a film they once started together. What follows is a quiet storm of regret, nostalgia, and maybe one last shot at love. Expect to premiere this 2026 with streaming details to follow. 4. Suzy and Kim Seon-ho. Did you root for the good boy in Startup? Well, good news. In this drama, he just might get the girl. But this isn't a fluffy second lead redemption arc. Portraits of Delusion reunites Kim Seon-ho and Bae Suzy in a visually rich, emotionally charged romance. Kim Seon-ho plays a man who becomes completely enchanted while painting Suzy's portrait. The theme leans darker: art, illusion, obsession, and the fine line between admiration and delusion. Is he falling for who she really is? Or the version of her he's created on canvas? Suzy brings that elegant, slightly mysterious aura that makes you lean in, while Kim Seon-ho excels at longing that builds under the surface. Watching him slowly get consumed by emotion, while she remains almost hauntingly unreadable, that's slow burn intensity with edge. Portraits of Delusion is set to premiere in 2026 and will stream internationally on Netflix. 3. Shin-min Ah and Lee Jong-suk. If you're an OG K-drama fan, then this casting is literally the one in your wildest dreams. The remarried Empress is officially bringing Shin-min Ah and Lee Jong-suk together, and K-drama fans have low-key been waiting for this pairing for years. She plays Empress Navier, graceful, intelligent, and completely unshakable, whose husband, Emperor Sovyeshu, played by Ju Ji-hoon, publicly betrays her by taking in another woman and demands a divorce. But instead of crying in a palace hallway, she calmly announces she'll remarry. And not just anyone. She chooses Prince Heinrich, played by Lee Jong-suk. Charming, observant, slightly secretive, and absolutely devoted once he sets his heart on something. Shin-min-ah has that elegant emotional control that makes every subtle shift hit harder, and Lee Jong-suk excels at playing men who look gentle but are quietly powerful. Together, I'm pretty sure this is something that we might not possibly handle, but we are here for it anyway. The Remarried Empress is set to premiere in 2026 and will stream internationally on Disney+. 2. Song Hye-kyo and Gong-yu. No, because how did Netflix just casually drop one of the most powerful pairings of the decade? Tantara is officially bringing Song Hye-kyo and Gong-yu together for the first time ever, and the industry genuinely is not ready. 2 A-list icons, one sweeping, decades-spanning story. This is the kind of casting that feels historic. Song Hye-kyo plays Minja, a woman who claws her way out of a harsh childhood and into stardom, fierce, ambitious, and willing to risk it all. Gong-yu plays Dong-gu, her childhood friend and steady anchor, loyal, quietly intense, always just behind her, until his own feelings refuse to stay hidden. Written by legendary screenwriter No Hee-kyung, the drama unfolds from the 1960s to the 1980s, diving into the glittering yet ruthless golden era of Korea's entertainment industry. It's about dreamers who start with nothing and chase everything: fame, love, legacy, in a world that doesn't hand out happy endings for free. Tantara is set to premiere in fourth quarter of 2026 on Netflix. 1. Sun Ye-jin and Ji Chang-wook. And saving the best for last? Oh, this one is spicy. The Scandal is officially pairing Sun Ye-jin and Ji Chang-wook in a bold historical romance set in the rigid world of the Joseon dynasty, where desire is forbidden, reputations are everything, and love is a weapon. Inspired by the 2003 film Untold Scandal, which itself adapted the French novel Dangerous Liaisons, the story follows Lady Cho, played by Sun Ye-jin, a woman of striking intelligence and charm who refuses to be boxed in by society's rules. Opposite her is Cho-won, played by Ji Chang-wook, charismatic, confident, addicted to the thrill of pursuit, and completely unconvinced that true love exists, until Lady Cho makes him part of her game. We're getting two actors who have already proven their romantic credibility, but here, they're stepping into morally complex, seductive, strategic roles. With a pairing this legendary leading the charge, expect smoldering glances, dangerous promises, and historical intrigue turned all the way up. The Scandal is set to premiere in the third quarter of 2026 and will stream globally on Netflix. So, which couple has your full attention right now? Drop your pick in the comments. I'm reading every single one. And before you go, check out our breakdown of the biggest upcoming Netflix and Disney Plus K-dramas this year.